It was a chilly spring afternoon when Sarah was told that a young man was asking for her at the gates. It was Samuel. Dirty, weak and sick, he looked terrible. Samuel. She ran to him. What happened to you? A pained smile appeared on his face. Sarah, do you have anything to eat? I haven't eaten the last 4 days. She took him inside and locked him in her closet. Why didn't write to me that you were coming? I didn't expect it, it just happened, he replied. Nobody noticed the newcomer. She fed him, washed him, and let him sleep there for the rest of the day. Sarah came back to her closet late at night after she finished washing the dishes and the floor in the dining hall. Hey, she whispered. How are you? I'm better, Sarah. Thank you, Samuel replied, getting up from her mattress. No, you stay here. What happened to you? I couldn't be there anymore. My mom was always mad at me for not working, and I don't know how to hold a job. I found a job and worked very hard, but I got fired the next day, regardless. And my mother yelled at me for every piece of bread I put in my stomach. She said that I was old enough to take care of myself, so I left. I decided to go to the city. I didn't have any money for the train, so I just walked here, and I found you. I'm not going to stay with you for too long. I'll go soon and find a job. Shish. Sarah pressed her finger to his lips. You just stay here for now. I'll see what I can do. You sleep for now. You're too weak to go anywhere. The next day, a counselor saw the strange young man in the orphanage's backyard and asked Sarah about him. He's my friend. He helps me a lot. He's a very hard worker. He'll work for food, Sarah answered with delight, and Samuel was allowed to stay in the orphanage for 1 day. He was too weak to be helpful. And Sarah worked even harder than before to make everyone think that Samuel worked as well as she did. Samuel tried to help her as much as he could, and it made her feel good. By the end of the day, they were exhausted. It seemed that as soon as their heads touched the pillow, they would drop dead. However, when they found themselves in Sarah's closet, for some reason, their weariness had left them. The young girl and boy felt that something strange was happening in the air. Magically, the dark, stuffy closet ceiling turned into a deep black sky filled with millions of sparkling stars. The old rigid mattress turned into a soft, puffy, and comfortable cloud. Her sweet aroma enticed him to move closer to her. His sensitive touch made her tremble. Their breaths mixed together, turning into a passionate kiss. Their heartbeats pounded in the same quick-tempered rhythm, and the melody of love engulfed their world. Samuel tried his best to be helpful, but wasn't welcome there very much. Although he tried hard to find a job, he was rarely lucky. But he didn't leave Sarah and secretly came to her closet every night. In a couple of months, everybody noticed that Sarah's stomach had begun to grow. The director called for her. I'll let you stay here, Sarah, but things are getting out of control. You're pregnant. And this is not a very good example to all the other children. You have to leave. But how? Sarah started. Sarah, the director interrupted her. You knew what you were doing. No, I didn't. Please. Help me. I need an abortion. Please. Sarah, you know that's illegal. How could you ask me this? Here, I'll give you some money. You have to find a job someplace else. How can I find a job with my stomach? Sarah cried. Well, Sarah, you know better. It's not my fault. The only advice I can give you is to try to register your marriage to this guy. Otherwise, you and your baby will suffer a lot. We already tried. They said that we're not old enough to register. Tell them that you're pregnant. Don't hide your stomach from them. They might make an exception. Sarah took the money and left the orphanage. Sarah and Samuel spent night after night at the train station, having no place to go. Sometimes Faga secretly let them in her dorm, but they knew they were putting her in jeopardy. They constantly looked for work, but had little luck. Sarah's stomach grew big, and nobody wanted a pregnant worker. They came over and over to the city hall, trying to get their marriage certificate, but were denied. But finally, when Sarah was 8 months pregnant, due to special circumstances, their marriage was registered and Samuel got a job at a plant and a room at a dorm. Samuel worked in a steel foundry as a blacksmith's assistant, the most difficult and unwanted job. It was very hard. He was facing a burning furnace, turning around metal bars on an anvil and then slamming them with a sledgehammer, 10 hours a day, 6 days a week. On the very first day, Samuel's new co-workers invited him to have a drink with them. It was a tradition for all hard labor workers to gather after the working day and drink homemade vodka. Samuel couldn't refuse. He came home to his young pregnant wife drunk. Drinking was very alien to Samuel. He didn't remember his father ever drinking so heavily. His mother's shadow watched him, and he felt ashamed to face his wife in such a condition. However, he had no choice. Everybody drank, and so did he. In a few weeks, his appearance dramatically changed. His skin turned dry and dark. His glance became vacant, and his face turned bleak. In next to no time, the 17-year young boy looked like a 35-year-old man. The world thawed from the cold Ukrainian winter, and the spring came, warm and promising. A newborn baby boy entered Sarah and Samuel's lives. They were just 16 and 17 years old, full of energy and hope for the future. Samuel wrote a letter to his mother, Riva, full of pride about his job that he managed to keep for a long time, and her first grandson, Daniel. Riva felt bitter regarding Samuel's marriage and family. She knew that Sarah would never forgive her for showing her the door. Also, Riva was glad because she saw a real opportunity for her other children. As soon as she found out that Samuel was settled, she sent Celia and Simon to the city. She would send Hannah with them too, but she was too young. Riva knew she would be lonely without them and that she distanced them from herself. But she also knew that there were not job opportunities in Israelivka, and even though it was hard to find a job in the city, it was possible. Celia and Simon were scared but relieved at the same time. They would be free of the mother's continuous control, and she wouldn't blame them anymore for the food they ate. So now Riva had only the company of her smaller child, Hannah. Even though Samuel worked in the plant for only a couple of months, he was able to help Celia and Simon find jobs at the plant. Despite all their troubles and difficulties, the youngsters felt that it was the best time of their lives. They got together very often, becoming a big family in which everyone took care of each other. Being orphans and kicked out of the house made them strong, and being there for each other made them even stronger. Little adorable Daniel was the center of everyone's attention. He was the very first baby in the extended family, and his uncles and aunts, Simon and Aaron, Meir, Fega, and Celia loved him dearly. Meir lived in the orphanage, but he felt like he was a member of a big family. He already knew that Fega and Sarah weren't his mother, but he called them Mommy anyway. The orphanage was his home. But Fega and Sarah visited him regularly, and also took him to their dorm quite often. Simon also lived in dorm, next to Samuel. He was a very handsome young man, and next-door girls melted every time he walked out his room. He loved the girls' attention and changed girlfriends quite often. He spoke funny about girls in general, and because of this, was always a subject of teasing amongst the extended family. Just a few months had passed when Celia ran to Samuel and Sarah with the news. Model proposed. She was glowing with happiness. She met this guy at the very first day at her new job. Also, at the same time, Fega's fiancé, David, graduated from college and returned to Kharkiv. The life is beautiful, Sarah whispered into Samuel's ear, before they went to bed. Celia and Model are getting married. Our family is growing even bigger. Soon, more children will come. Aaron would probably marry Anna soon too. Simon has tons of girls. She laughed. Mayer grew into a handsome young man. I love him so very much. She was so happy for all of them. Fega and David will get married soon. Also, David has two brothers, Lev and Joseph. Joseph is married to Zena and they have a child. And Lev has a girlfriend, Betty. 2 more families will join us. Isn't it great? I love this life. Samuel kissed his wife, and I love you, darling, more than words could say. There was only one place where Fega and David could live. David's parents' overcrowded apartment. The apartment had a small corridor with an entrance to a living room that had 2 other entrances into 2 bedrooms. Initially, the apartment didn't have a kitchen, only a bathroom. The family reassembled the bathroom walls and built a tiny kitchen, taking some space from the corridor. The kitchen was separated from the bathroom by a fabric curtain and could fit only 1 person. A few years ago, David's parents, together with their youngest daughter, Yalta, lived in one bedroom that was called a grand bedroom, while their 3 sons, Joseph, Lev, and David, lived in another bedroom called the boys' bedroom. The apartment was small, but there was enough space for everybody. Then, Lev and David moved to Leningrad. Joseph married Zena and Yalta's parents gave them the boys' bedroom. Then, David graduated from college and came back home. In the beginning, he slept in the living room, but when he married Fega, the parents, along with Yalta, moved to the living room, letting the young couple occupy the grand bedroom. It was hard for 8 people to live in such a small space. Zena was the most difficult person to live with. She was bossy, and since she was a mother of the first grandchild, she bossed everybody around. Joseph's parents didn't want any trouble for their son, so they tolerated her, trying to satisfy all her conditions. Zena bossed Fega around much too much, often reminding her that she had to always remember whom she owned for her happiness. Fega was grateful, but handled her bossy sister-in-law with difficulties. But then, Fega gave birth to a little girl, Jane. And all the problems in a world turned into a tiny inconvenience because this baby brought so much happiness into the family life. David's parents loved Fega like their own daughter. She was a hard worker, easy to talk to, and had a pleasant personality. They adored Jane, and the baby became their favorite. Zena was jealous and hateful. The family members tried very hard to avoid confrontations with her, and she became very isolated. Fega visited Sarah quite often, sharing with her all her concerns, life conflicts, and thoughts. They always spoke about Aaron. He left the orphanage at the age of 14 and went to a technical high school. He visited his sisters during the school break, and they missed him a lot. I received a letter from Aaron, Sarah said. I'm so proud of him. Do you remember how he dreamed of becoming a pilot when he was just a boy? Yes, I do. Look at him now. He is doing all he can to make it happen. He wrote that he took a course in aircraft mechanics. They told him that this was a way to become a pilot. He is doing so great in school. Sarah. I'm so proud of him. Fega. I never thought it would be possible for Aaron to become a pilot. Yes. It's hard to believe. I hope he will. He's trying really hard. Do you think that if he becomes a pilot, he would fly us to Palestine? Sarah whispered. I don't know. That would be great. But I don't think we could go there. What do you mean? Of course we can. Sarah, you don't understand. David is different to us. I mean, he never speaks about Palestine and never dreams about it. He's Jewish, but still, I don't think he's up to it, and I will never leave him. I love him, and we're doing very well. His parents love me as if I'm their own daughter. My father doesn't love me as much as they do. Stop talking about our father, Fega. You know we all hate him. We don't hate him, Sarah. We love him. That's why we're so upset that he left us. I know. I just don't want to talk about him. Anyway, there's nothing to discuss now. We'll see what happens. Yes, I guess. Though it would be nice if we just left. I don't know about that, Sarah, Fega objected. Our grannies were chased away from Palestine. They ran to save their lives, and now we want to go back. Why? Who knows if Palestine is better than what we already have here? I have my job and my room, and I live with a family that loves me. Our father left us, and strangers put us in an orphanage and fed us. I know that we suffered, but nobody had to take care of us. Nobody owes us anything to help us. I don't know what would happen to us if we lived in Palestine. I don't know if they have the same kind of orphanage. Maybe children just die without parents like animals in the wild. And I don't see a way to find out about this. I guess you're right. Though Russians hate us here, and especially Ukrainians. I know, Sarah, but not all of them hate us. Don't think only about the bad people. Think about good ones. The ones that helped us. Riva is a Jew, but she also showed us the door. You're not going to hate all Jews because of her. Are you? No. We just have to make our lives the best we possibly can. Sarah thought a moment. Well, you're right, but regardless, if I get a chance to fly to Palestine, I won't miss it. No, you won't, Sarah. Fega argued. Oh yes, I will. Sarah persisted, laughing. You won't leave me here alone, will you? Fega laughed too. No, I won't. But I'll make you to come with me. Sarah smiled back at her. Aaron and Anna decided to get married a long time ago, but waited for his graduation. When he had a school break, he went straight to Anna, who lived with her parents and brothers. Fega and Sarah were always happy when Aaron and Anna visited them. The young ladies formed a strong relationship. They always had something to talk about. Anna was a great cook. She'd never come empty-handed, bringing homemade delicious meals. She was the most favorite person in the family. The men loved her cooking, always commenting that they wouldn't mind if their wives learned from Anna how to cook, and young ladies always surrounded Anna, writing down new recipes for exotic meals. Sometimes, when Aaron had a school break, Anna invited everybody into her parents' house and treated them with numerous delicious meals, while her older brothers entertained guests with their stories and songs. It became a tradition, and everybody looked forward to those kinds of parties. We went swimming this weekend. Jacob told a story. A girl jumped into the water and lost her bottom. You've got to be kidding me. Issa chuckled. No, I'm serious. So, what did you do? Samuel laughed out loud. Did you jump to rescue her bottom? No. Did you jump to check out what was under her bottom? David made a joke. No. So, tell us what you saw. Simon teased Jacob. Yeah. And in detail. Issa added, laughing. It's time for you to get married, Issa. Then you'll know all the details. Anna mocked him. You've got to be kidding me. Do you think I don't know all the details? I'm a master of all the details. Everybody cracked. Let me talk. Jacob tried again. I'm trying to tell the story here. Okay, guys, let him talk. Quiet, Anna ordered. Yay. Quiet, quiet. Sure, go ahead. Aaron tried his best to hold his laughter. So, she didn't know how to get out of the water. She came closer to the beach and grabbed a board that was there to cover her private places. But when she got out of the water, covering her private part, if you know what I mean. And, as she walked by, we all cracked with laughter. Ha ha ha. Jacob started to laugh heavily, and was not able to finish his story. Oh, come on, Sarah said. You'll laugh after you finish the story. Okay, okay. Jacob took a deep breath. The note on that board said, ha, 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 for adults only. Ha, ha. The depth is 2 to 10 meters. Ha ha. Everybody cracked with laughter. Now, that is so funny. Fega laughed out loud, joining in. Hold it, hold it. I'll tell you about my friend. Issa started his story. It was a few months ago. We were on a bus together. A blonde girl came in and sat next to us. Tell me, Issa, when did you start to become attracted to blondes? Samuel teased him. Hey, let me talk, okay? There is nothing better than brunette. David confirmed. Okay, guys, you are unbearable. Let me tell the story. So, I wanted to get the blondie attention and I said loud, Vlad, look at this pretty girl. And she heard it. And I said, she reminds me about someone, we saw her someplace. Oh, now I remember. I saw her in a movie. And I looked at the blondie as she was melting. So, everything went great. I thought I got her. So, I asked him another question to pay her a compliment. Vlad, do you remember what movie it was? And Vlad decided to be a smart ass, and he said, oh. Yes, I do. She was playing a horse of a cowboy. Issa chuckled. A few men giggled. He is an idiot, Sarah said. It's not funny at all. It's insulting. You've got to be kidding me. Of course it's funny, because that's not the end of the story. Oh, so, tell us the end. And you better make it funny. Anna said, or I'll deprive you from your favorite cookie. You've got to be kidding me. What did I do? See? And you want me to get married? Now, you are in trouble. Issa, Simon said. And you didn't even do anything wrong. Of course he did. Anna argued. Don't befriend jerks. I just wanted to make it funny, and all of a sudden I'm in trouble. Alright, finish your story. David insisted. I want to know the end. I have a feeling it's hilarious. Only, before you finish, would you please pass me the salad? This one? Yes. Wait. Let me take some more. Hey, leave something for me. Don't worry, David, I have more. Anna was flattered. But, you better leave some place for main course and dessert. Oh. I thought this was a main course. Issa was surprised. Okay, David, you can have it. It's so good. Yummy. Thanks, Issa. So, finish the story already. So, Vlad said, I remember her. She was playing a horse of a cowboy. The blondie heard him very well. And I thought she would be upset, but instead she turned around and said, ah. I remember you now. Yes, indeed. We played in the same movie. I played the cowboy horsey, and you played a soft short dick. Everybody cracked and laughed through tears. I guess it's not necessary that blondes are dumb. They might be very smart. The hair color has nothing to do with being smart. Anna protested. Look at Aaron. He is as bald as a ball, but doing great in school. Aaron, you only think of getting married, and your hair already fell off. Wait and see what happens after your marriage. Simon made it funny. You shut your mouth. Celia yelled, laughing. I don't care about my hair. Aaron objected. But I know for sure that my meal will be always exceptional. Thank you, honey. Anna kissed her groom. The party went on. They laughed and singed songs, having the greatest time of their lives.